From downtown, this is Tim Kitzer from NBA Jam, and you're listening to NintenDomain Podcast. Boom shakalaka!
This week on NintenDomain, are we getting a Switch 2 announcement tomorrow or not?
Feels like it's 2015, 2016, 2019, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024 all over again.
I killed Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, not our car. Oh, that's the damn
actor.
van.
Look outside. Your van's okay.
You don't know that. You don't know that. It could be that there.
Yeah, we dropped our van off at the shop. Hopefully, it's okay.
Has it been that many years that they've been talking about the Switch 2? Maybe.
Well,
or
I
whatever.
Was thinking of
Switch Pro.
I was thinking leading up to the NX for
Sure.
the Switch, and then I was thinking about the Switch Pro starting at least at probably 2019. They started touching the Switch Pro in a pretty serious way in the rumors.
For sure. Welcome to NintenDomain Podcast, episode 454. It's a palindrome. And we are your hosts. I'm Trey. Twitter can still be good for some things, Johnson.
I'm Jeremy Coliseum Grinder Mikowski.
I'm John Splitter Killer Knitter.
And welcome to NintenDomain, where you can hear fans talk about rumors, like crazy about the Switch. It's still, I was really debating, whether we'd record today or tomorrow, because I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, but we'll see.
So, yeah, it's supposed to be that
some guy who's on a podcast
tomorrow.
that's been wrong many
Page.
times says that it was tomorrow. So, I mean, didn't he also say that the Star Fox Racing game was coming out like 3 years ago?
There was another.
I think he had a lot of stuff. Didn't he have things to say about Metroid Prime Trilogy? Also, didn't see that on Switch.
So it's not just him though. There was another source that said the same thing.
Well,
I don't remember the specifics of it, but it seems to be an agreement, enough to the point where like Kotaku has published an article about it, IGN has published an article about it, and I think when those guys are all publishing stuff about it, it has some credence.
I mean, they publish whenever.
But the waters
hear
aren't
anything.
clear in this case.
I'm just saying, if I was Nintendo and some like dickbag on a podcast said like, "Hey, this is going to be on this day," I would have it on a different day. I'd be like, fuck that guy. Let's put it on Friday, or let's put it on Tuesday of the next week. Like, I mean, if it's just a shadow trailer, which I find that really hard to believe that it's a shadow drop for a fucking console, I don't know. It's just, you would think that they would do something, say like, hey, like it'd be a direct or something, or at least say like, hey, there'll be a thing tomorrow, instead of just being like, oh yeah, here, by the way, here's the Switch 2 that everybody else has been talking about.
Except if the nature of this thing is more like a teaser in it itself, which it sounds like the rumor is saying that it's going to be like just a little hardware preview or whatever. So I don't think it's going to say much,
unless he's like the Pioro guy
say,
that hacked into YouTube and saw all the.
I mean, I would expect it to be like
videos.
what we saw with the Switch reveal. Like
right.
that initial trailer didn't focus on games really. Like we saw some.
They had like
stuff
a whole.
That maybe had been announced already for the Wii, and they were showing that, or the Wii U, and we saw it was going to be on the Switch as well. But
I mean, the Switch was a whole event, though, if you remember. Like, not the
but
one
that was
not,
the thing.
not the one
that
not the one that we went to, but the actual unveiling was a whole.
No,
event.
you're right. They did like a treehouse afterwards.
I recorded myself reacting to it. You can watch it on YouTube if you don't think it's real. No, they did a real event with people like on a stage, showing how you would use the remotes. Like, it was not like a 2-second trailer.
I remember there being a trailer that was literally just like,
or unless they did that
tune
like
in tomorrow
directly
at this
right
time
after.
to see the trailer.
Yeah.
And then it was literally just a
I guess
trailer.
unless they did the Karen thing and then they did the presentation right after that.
Yeah,
Because
the
I remember there
presentation
being
was after.
a really
It was like Karen, and then they were like, then we're gonna have another presentation, and then they had another presentation in like January, I thought, where they did more in-depth stuff.
Because I recorded myself reacting
and
to
then we went to the
big
February
thing
where we got to use it, and then It came out in March. That's how I remember it.
Whatever it is, whenever it's coming
But also
out.
they also had a tweet with Mario looking out of a looking out of a shower. It actually saying like it's going to happen tomorrow.
But they did tweet something about Nintendo's going to spill the tea.
Did they?
It had something to do with Mario Kart or something. No, not Mario Kart, Mario Party, I think.
Oh, yeah. I guess I did see that. I thought it was just a Mario Party thing.
Actually, Walmart reposted that image of Mario peeking around the curtain. It was either today or yesterday. But yeah, that came from the official Walmart account, that exact photo. And they said, oh, hey, Mario.
I mean, I don't trust anything that Walmart says, but I mean,
I mean, Walmart might just have, I don't know, some deal coming out or something.
Are you drinking the milk, spilling the tea? That was yesterday.
That's a very specific photo, though. And Walmart's a major retailer. And they know what they're doing when they tweet something like that.
And then I also saw something, well, maybe, which I'm probably going along with what Trey said earlier. I put Twitter back on my phone just today. I haven't been commenting or anything, but I was like, well, today they might reveal something. So I got to be on Twitter to watch it, to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, Nintendo's only
as we said, Nintendo's only on Twitter.
So yeah,
I guess they're on Facebook as well, but.
Well, sure, yeah. But they haven't, well, I mean, I don't know what do they have like a direct Nintendo of America account on Facebook? I guess I never.
They
really
probably
looked.
do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't want to be on that garbage site either. I don't want to be on any garbage site, but at least on Twitter, you can just type in Nintendo of America and just see what they have. And
actually, yesterday I deleted Facebook from my phone. I just got fed up with everything from, all the suggested for use and all that. And
so it was like for use and
it was like
fact checking.
70% just shit that wasn't even things that I liked and all that. So
yeah, you rarely even see posts from people anymore on there.
I saw the same thing on Facebook lately. That was on Twitter. Like, I don't know, for a couple of years there, where like when Elon Musk was talking about after he bought it out and was like, we're not going to have like all the stuff being hidden or whatever. And so basically he was saying it was for free speech. And so then people start seeing like Elon Musk dead at 45 or whatever. And like posting stuff like that. I'm seeing stuff like that on Facebook about Zuckerberg. It's Zuckerberg, after having sex with a llama, says this about privacies or, just random shit like that. And
so instead I just went into Google News and I took a few minutes to like tailor that to my liking. And now I go to the following in Google News and it's all just Nintendo stuff and, Switch 2 updates and all that. It's all the stuff that I was searching for on Facebook anyway. So, but without
I wish I could say the Nintendo Switch subreddit was helpful, but it's really not.
Yeah, I haven't really got there. I mean, since we're already talking about Switch 2, why don't we just talk about Switch 2? Sure. I don't know what rumors have happened since last time. Like last time we were talking about the Genki, the Genki model that was on CES, like that was last week. I mean, I saw some stuff in your notes, John, that's stuff that I haven't even seen before about like it glowing when you get a notification or whatever, like the Wii. I have not heard anybody say that.
No, that's just me. That's
okay.
Notes. That's
I thought you read that somewhere. I was like, really?
No,
it's going to glow like the Wii?
We should talk about. I mean, this is the last chance.
Maybe.
I think that we're going to have, according to all these reports,
we'll say maybe. I mean,
thing.
So, you think this time next week we'll know something about this piece?
I think so. I mean, there was reports that we're going to get a January reveal going back to November. I looked into it.
I mean, there's still 2 weeks plus left in January.
Yeah.
So it's not just Nate the Hate talking about it. It's a couple other people, and it's all that.
When is their fiscal year up? Is it March?
People have said it just because of because it would make sense that they do it in January because they said they would do it sometime before March or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. I think a lot of it's just like, oh yeah, no, this will probably happen. But I don't know. I mean,
it's very likely
believe it when I see
be the last episode we do before we know what this thing is. So I thought it would be appropriate to just say, what do we think the hardware is going to be? And, what do we think that, because it's pretty clear it's going to be a hardware reveal, no software, just like they did last time. So,
well, I mean, some of these rumors, quote unquote,
some of the rumors are focused on
like that one that I'm pretty sure is wrong. The one that says that Mario Kart 9 is coming out like March 3rd. I'm betting right now that is not true because Nintendo, even since the beginning of the Switch, they've never put like 2 like first-party games in the same month. I mean, they're already doing Xeno X in March, at the end of March. And I feel like it's too soon to be like within less than 2 months, like for Mario Kart. Also, that article was incorrect where it said that they were going to do it different and put Mario Kart first instead of Mario, which is wrong because they did that on the Switch when it came out. Mario Kart came out first, and then Mario came out later. So I say that they suck because they're incorrect on their facts on that article. So that's what I say about that.
I think it's been over 10 years since we've had last Mario Kart.
No, I think there's a new. I think there's a new one coming. I think there's a new one coming, but I don't think it's coming on March 3rd.
I think it's very likely.
I'm just saying it's not coming on March 3rd. Is what I'm saying.
It's not coming out. I don't think the Switch 2 is coming on March 3rd, but I think that the Switch 2 will launch with Mario Kart. I think it's a very safe bet.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because it did before. It did last time. I mean, it's like the highest selling game on the system. So I mean, why not? Why not? Let's do a new one. Because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is like the highest selling game on Switch, like period. So I mean, it's and it's over 10 years old. So we need a new one. I just don't think it's coming out on the 3rd of March.
What do you think about the hardware? Like all the speculations about the hardware that have come out. It's a little bit bigger. It's pretty much just the Switch, little reimagined, supersized, whatever. Do we all agree that's pretty much going to be true? I think so. I mean, that's been the rumor for a long time.
That's a rumor.
That it's just like a portable PS4, or like maybe a PS4 Pro or something like that.
I think Nintendo would be silly to not stick to the formula that seems to be working. I don't think they're in need of like shaking it all up. Like this is what have we talked about? Like we've talked about on the show before about like how they skip generations with being gimmicky.
Yeah, it's revolution then evolution. That's very consistent. We're in evolution.
Nintendo, Super Nintendo, DS, 3DS, Wii U, like whatnot.
Yep.
Switch 2. Supposedly, it would be funny if it was just this completely weird thing that was nothing like this. But I mean, there's been so much shit about it, and why would they want to like rock the boat so much?
And all the components have just gotten cheaper as far as
right.
Making that handheld. Now that everyone else wants to make a handheld too, it's probably even easier to get parts.
That's what I think is interesting. Is that they like Nintendo being Nintendo. Everybody was like, oh, nobody's going to want a handheld, and now like everybody wants to make a handheld. It seems like, and it's like
right, and they're doing the Steam Decks all over the place.
And it's like, is the Switch 2 like still going to really stick out? That's kind of why I put this question on here for myself, and it's just like what are the games that would be on Switch 2 that would really make you excited about it? And aside from Nintendo stuff, they'll have their own stuff, but posing the question to like Jeremy, who has a PS5 and can play whatever on there, like what would be something that actually made you excited about it? Like probably nothing, because you can already get whatever you want on there.
I would be excited if if the rumors are still ruminating about Game Pass coming to the Switch.
Oh yeah,
that or
some sort of aside from the Nintendo Switch Online stuff.
There's not a whole lot of Xbox exclusive stuff that I care about, but there's a few things I want to play. I want to play. I do like Halo. I mean, I don't like it enough that I want to play multiplayer and stuff, but I think it'd be.
There's a rumor on that too. There's a rumor. Rumor saying that there's a Halo collection coming to Switch.
Collection, yeah.
And I guess it is coming to PlayStation. So
I've always wanted to play Microsoft Flight Simulator, like the newest one.
I think there was a rumor for that too. That was coming to Switch too. Also,
these are the kind of things that like I'm just trying to think. What's a quote unquote console experience that I can't have on the Switch or the PS5 right now, and all I can think is PC / Xbox, because it's just basically a PC anymore.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be interesting, I guess. Yeah, for me it's mostly stuff that I can't play on PS4. I would love to see on PS5 or not. Yes, they're already on PS5. PS5. I'd love to see on the Switch too. I mean, they're already on PS5. Like stuff that's only.
I think it's going to be more PS4 level. I think I do agree with that being.
But I think that there's some. But I think there's some things that could be on there though. Like for one,
almost everything.
Like Tekken 8, which is PS5 only. Yeah. Like there's a good chance we're going to get a Tekken Deluxe version, just like we got the Tekken Tag Tournament Deluxe version for Wii U. That has like Mario costumes and all that, like that sort of thing. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see like a Street Fighter 6 Ultimate Edition that has like all the extra characters on there. or something like that. Like that's what I'd
Sure.
really like to see. Which it's already on PS4. It can easily handle it, but I haven't bought any of the bonus characters that have come out for Street Fighter 6 because I kind of want it to be, have like an Ultimate one or a Street Fighter 6 Deluxe or whatever be available for Switch too. Which Street Fighter 4 was a launch title for 3DS, so I mean it could easily happen. And with all the support that Capcom's been giving through their fighting game collections and all that stuff, there's a big possibility that would happen.
I want. I'm always gonna be stuck to this, but seeing that
Netflix.
we've got these mystery things. No, not Netflix. Actually, yes. Netflix.
We never got Netflix on there. Yeah. You're
No, I want
Wii
Wii U. I want it to be able to emulate the GameCube and the Wii U. I know they can already kind of do the GameCube, but you know what I mean. Like I want that to be on the table for those games to get that generation of games to get brought to the Switch, because I think the Wii U sadly was an era that was missed by many, many people. So if they're going to bring back the Wii in a big way, they got to try again.
So I think that gets to a point which other people have talked about. I'm not the first to bring it up, but I think that this is a likelihood. The more and more I think about it, how would you control the stuff on the Wii U? How would you control the stuff on the DS? Various other Nintendo systems that had like a touch interface or whatever. When you're sitting there, when you got the thing in your hand, that's fine. You got a touch screen, that's good. But when you're sitting on the TV, how would you control it? Well, there was evidence a while back, a month or two ago, I think, that Nintendo had filed a patent for putting basically the Joy-Con flat on the table, so you could use it as a mouse.
Yeah, and I've seen some videos about this week.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen.
We talked about that last week with the optical camera.
Yeah.
It was supposedly like with the mock-ups or whatever.
The more and more I think about it, I think that's a lock.
And I think it's a cool idea. It'll give you a way to like do touchscreen stuff if on the DS, even though you'd have to share the screen with it. But they already did that with with like the Dominus collection and whatnot. So I mean, it's not like hasn't already happened.
You're probably going to need a mouse pad or a flat surface.
I love the idea of a Nintendo making new mouse pads now. We can buy like a Mario mouse pad or get one with some platinum points or whatever through your Nintendo.com account or whatever. I could see that. I could 100% see that being a thing. Like it's
as a bonus, re-release the SNES mouse for Mario Paint. Come on, do it.
Sure, yeah. I could see that.
The PS5 straight up has a touchpad on it. Like it can work that way for so many things, and in some games
the PS4 does too.
Does it? You're right.
In the middle, the PS4 has a touchpad, and the Vita had a touchpad on the back of it. Even so, true. I mean, they've been doing. Yeah, it had touch on the screen and a touchpad on the back of the Vita also. So
I forgot about having the touch on the back,
which was so weird. I actually played when I played. Conan had a Vita. I play his Vita, and the touchpad on the back just sucked because I always kept accidentally triggering it because it's like I don't know where it is, so it just kept messing up whenever I was trying to play it on that system. But yeah,
but Chair was mentioning that they want games that aren't available on the Switch on Nintendo console right now. I think by doing that, by adding a mouse, I mean, you open it up to PC, you open it up to all kinds of other stuff. I mean, there's basically at that point, I think not a system, save from say Virtual Boy or Vectrex, that the Switch 2 couldn't bring in the games from. So I think that's totally going to happen.
Typing of the dead.
Said for it.
Typing of the dead.
Typing the dead. Or
a new Mario Paint would be good.
New Mario Paint would be great.
Dead.
Flight Simulator.
Bring back that really hard DS game, Touch the Dead. Imagine
every first-person shooter. Like if for all the diehards, we're like, I only want to do FPS on PC because mouse controls is the way to go. Well, now you can't. So this will be the best system for FPS games for sure.
I prefer controllers still.
I prefer controllers with gyroscopic aiming. Like that's what I like. Where you can aim with the sticks, but you can still tweak it with the movement.
Fortnite all the way, baby.
Yeah. I still haven't figured out how to. I thought you could do it on Switch, but I couldn't figure out how to turn it on. But I haven't fucked around with it that much.
Man, it is literally a game changer. It makes the game so much fun.
Sure.
It feels like a cheat code.
I mean, you should watch some of the stuff that I do on YouTube on there. I've done some pretty mad saves on Fortnite now that you can bring your teammates back to life. I've done some cool shit on there. But, I don't know. I was just thinking of games that that I want that would love to see on Switch, like the Majima
Fortnite.
Pirate game. Like that's a PS4 game anyway, so that could easily be on Switch too.
The new
Pirate Yakuza, the Majima game.
uh,
Monster Hunter Wilds is PS5 only, but I bet you anything, like Capcom would 100% work to make it run on PS4 or on Switch too, because they already said that they wished it would have could run on Switch 1. Like they already said, because then we had Monster Hunter Rise also.
Rise is just an incredible looking game on the Switch. It may be the best looking game on Switch.
Yeah, it looks amazing. So I mean, I guarantee they would if they knew. I'd be really surprised if Monster Hunter Wilds doesn't come to Switch 2. That's another one that I would really like to see on there.
Well, I wasn't digging it a lot as much as the other one so far, but maybe it'll be more fun when you can actually buy armor and stuff.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's the meat of the game, right? It's doing all the upgrades and getting all the different stuff. And, you go through, but then you get a better thing, and you go through again, and you get another thing. Or, sometimes you get a grind for one thing, but that's really how it is. And I just like to put Marvel Rivals on there. I really want to play that game, and I have no way to play it. It's basically like Overwatch with Marvel characters, but it looks cool. Like, it's like
a hero shooter.
It's a hero shooter, yeah. And they're bringing the Fantastic Four in there now because they're pushing it because of the movie and all that. And so I want to be a part of that. And I'd love to play a better looking Fortnite also. I guess I could play it on PS4, but it's not.
You could.
I'd have to lug it down here, and it's not as easy to where I have. I guess I'm not really. If we're talking about the rumors again here. They're saying that the Switch dock will be different, so that bums me out because I have 3 Switch docks here, and I like it that way. I don't want to have to buy 3 more, but I may have to. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm fine with getting a new dock if it means that it's going to be actually more powerful on the TV.
Yeah,
I just want the dock to have more functionality.
Yeah, well, you only have one.
I would agree to that.
I got 3, so
I think that it might be. So I think that on the dock, I would love. This is just I haven't heard any rumors or whatever to this effect, but I think this makes sense. If the dock had some kind of simple screen on it, which could provide notifications, like say you got a friend request or something, or somebody wants to play a game, if it just flashed on your screen.
You want to bring back that blinking Wii light?
Yeah, bring back an evolution of the blinking Wii light. That's exactly what I want. It was cool, but if it could be a little more specific about what's going on, what the notification is, and some detractors might say, "Well, we got our phones. We could just have it, come up on the app or whatever." Well, I mean, Nintendo does sell a lot of these consoles to kids who don't have phones, and I think it would make sense to me to have a simple notification system on the dock, so little Jimmy could see that Bobby wants to play the game. That makes sense to me. I think that'd be cool.
I want there to be, and we were talking about this before the Switch came out when we were speculating about it. So this is nothing new, but I want there to be memory. I want there to be some kind of memory on there, and then you can swap between it. So. Extra memory in the dock.
Makes sense.
That way, like, if you have your Switch with you, it can download updates and stuff, and then they'll already be on, they're ready to go when you put your Switch in. Like, that's one reason, but the other reason would be for, you got to delete stuff to fit it on the Switch. You can just pop it on over to the dock, so it's right there. It's not on some like, drive somewhere that you got to go find or whatever.
Yeah, maybe you could do, like, dock-only stuff or something like that, where you'll ever play handheld, and they'd give you some extra... I mean, Nintendo's always not been great with
What if they
memory,
had it to where
they should have one with more?
Even if you bought a physical game, you could put it on the Switch, but it would be your dock that was like coded to it.
Like you can't use other docks for it or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just speculating. Like then they could make it to where you didn't have to put cartridges in the Switch. It would just have the games on it. But people would probably hate that. They probably want to be able to switch cartridges out still.
I would just like to be able to buy a physical and then have it digital as well. That'd be a nice.
Yeah, they need to figure out.
They should do that.
They need to figure out a way to do that because, like I said before, I mean, I haven't bought a physical comic in a long time, but Marvel did that. Where you bought a comic and you got a code for the physical of it or for the digital of it, and then you could read it on your phone. And then
or like if you buy like a vinyl, most of the time you can get a digital download.
Yeah, right. I just figured for games, they were afraid that they would lose money or that, but they need to make it to where maybe it's not a code and it has to be specifically tied to your account or something.
They used to do that with movies. They stopped doing that a while ago. But
yeah, where Blu-rays had digital codes in them. I remember that. I had a few that had that. Like right around when they first started, it seemed like.
Because they were like, people are putting movies on their iPods and shit. That's how you do
What do we think is going to be the main differentiator? Like, what's the innovation, the gimmick, if you will, or whatever that made Nintendo say, "Oh, we need to do the next one now."
Well, I mean, they were behind the times when the Switch first launched. So, I mean, they've been behind the times for a long time.
They have been. Yep.
That one was, kind of on the level of the Wii U, which was already behind the times when that one launched. So they definitely need more horsepower, is what I'm saying. They need more.
They need more horsepower for sure. What's the Nintendo twist? What's the 3D, of the 3DS?
What's the gimmick?
I figured it was maybe that mouse thing, if that's real. Like that seems like.
I don't think that would be
Nintendo
their only
thing.
gimmick, but I think a better dock, a dock that has more functionality, would be huge. And I think some sort of way to cast to the screen. Mm-hmm. So you have the TV as a second screen, and then, full backwards compatibility, please. They've said that, but I mean, please, like, let it be everything, not just the Nintendo games or whatever on Switch Online. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they don't got to do too much. They're already
have to do too much, but if they did everything, I don't know if there's going to be a straight out gimmick this time around. But if everything across the board were like 50% better, like every bit of the experience, I think that would be enough. That would add up to be something that would be enough wow to be like, I'm going to get it anyway. I mean, the average person is going to be like, wow, I need to get it.
Big things with the Switch right now are frame rate.
Yep.
And loading times. Those are two things that with, the PS5, that was probably the biggest difference. Yeah. That was such a small upgrade, but it's the quality of life change is incredible. So if they could just make the Switch snappier, quicker, you could switch between games, really quick, and the frame rate's great, and you don't have a Pokemon that looks like shit.
I think probably the biggest change is going to be, I think, and I'm fingers crossed, toes crossed that this is finally going to happen, that they really make it a stellar social experience. I think that's what that extra button is for.
I mean, that's a rumor out there, too, that they're like going to have their own fucking TikTok app or whatever.
It kind of seems like they got burned by the Wii U and in the social
with
sense,
Miiverse.
Too. Yeah,
they should bring Miiverse back again in some sort of...
I think there's enough of an install base they can bring something back that'll be...
I saw rumors floating around of something kind of like that, of like a TikTok, Twitter sort of. I mean, they're going to get rid of the other TikTok, right? So they can replace it with the Switch TikTok or something. I don't know. I don't use
Switch
it.
So
it's not affecting me. But I mean, I've heard a lot of rumors about that too, that they're going to have their own. And it's like, what was the NSO test thing that they had, like that supposed Spider-Man looking game or whatever? Is that part of Switch too, or is it? I mean, that leaked when it happened. Like, I saw videos of it on Twitter.
But there was like a build of it. It's like people can like hack it and try it now that leaks this week.
Yeah.
So
I remember I saw footage of it, or it was supposedly, footage of it, of like captured from the Switch, like little 30-second increments or whatever. So I mean, they should have like maybe taken that off.
I don't think it is that big of a deal, or I just don't think it's that exciting. So it'd be cool if it turned out to be this amazing game and they kept it under wraps, but I don't know. Something tells me it's not anything to get that excited about.
No, I think we're finally getting rid of friend codes, and I think inviting.
I would put money on that of friend codes staying. I don't think we're getting rid of them. I mean, I thought we were getting rid of them in the Wii U time, but then they brought them back.
It was, but there's still friend codes.
It was less They made it less painful this generation, and I think
they're still there. Though,
if that's, I think maybe that indicates that they're evolving in a better direction.
I mean, now you can request friends like through. Well, you used to be able to request friends through like Twitter or Facebook, but I don't know if you can still do that now because I haven't done it in a long time. But you could like send Switch requests to people if you were friends with them on Facebook, if you tied your account to the system and all that, or like I got a bunch of friends through like Miitopia and like Super Mario Run and stuff like that. You could get people friends through that too. But yeah, I don't know. But I'd like to see something about it. I'm tired of all the constant rumors that seem to keep happening and are going to keep happening until maybe tomorrow or until maybe next week. I don't know, or maybe next month or whatever. But if it did, let's say if it did like come out in like March or something like that, and it's $400, like. I mean, are you guys on board for that? I mean,
yeah.
I want to be.
Yeah, it was like I mean, would you get excited for it even though you got like the big shiny PS5 and all that stuff? Like, would you still?
I'm gonna. I mean, I'm on a Nintendo podcast. I have to be excited.
I know,
but no,
I know.
I
But
mean,
I'm
I
just.
am.
But if it's not really, if it's not really that, I don't know. I mean, $400 is a lot of money. Like it's.
I mean, it's gonna be.
Especially.
I will say the OLED I wasn't that excited about, but an all new Nintendo console, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best to have it day one. We'll see if that happens, but
yeah, I'm wondering
I would like to
about
have it day one.
I mean, it's been kind of a rough year for work, but hopefully things come back around. Which I don't know. The future doesn't look great for what we have going on in this country, but
Yeah.
Well, the good news is I don't see them slowing support on the base level Switch anytime soon. You'll still see games coming out for
years.
So.
I mean, Nintendo, they have stuff like through the end of March. But aside from Nintendo, there's stuff for Switch through like the end of the year practically, like from third parties. So I mean, it's not, that's not going to change at all. Like this,
They're not in the first year of the life. Yeah.
Hopefully, we just get free upgrades, and I want them to take some advice from what PlayStation did. Like I loved how you could buy I bought Street Fighter 6 for PS4, but I get both versions. I get a PS5 version even though I don't have a PS5. Like Capcom did that great for a lot of games, and
a lot of games do that, not just Capcom.
Yeah, well they did, but I'm just saying that would be
Elden
great.
Ring.
That would be a great thing for Switch too. Where it would be
a Hitman did it. Like I've got the
where you
PS5 version
you
for
get
free.
both,
Like
both
I've got
versions for buying one. Yeah,
almost every game I bought on PS4 has a PS5 version that I got for free.
yeah.
So I think it was a Kid and Krista podcast I was listening to today where they were talking about how the PS4 versus the PS5 and how PS5 took such a long time to get going and there's still PS4 versions of games being made and all that. And they brought up a good point, which is that benefits the Switch 2, because if the Switch 2 is basically, at the power level of a PS4 or PS4.5 or whatever, then that means those games that are still coming out for the PS4, those versions could theoretically be easily ported over to Switch 2.
Yeah, it also kind of like doesn't really future-proof them for when we do get to the time where everything's PS5 only.
So I'd expect a lot of like Far Cry games.
Those aren't PS4.
Yeah, they were.
No, you said expect a glut of Far Cry games.
Yeah, expect like
I thought you said don't expect Far Cry games, and I was like, really? They don't look that good.
There's going to be an ass ton of ports from the last generation, and that's going to be great for a lot of people. And I mean, I imagine I'll double dip on some stuff. Inevitably Elden Ring will come to it, and I'll probably buy it again when it does. It'll be the third time I bought it.
I'm surprised we never got a Far Cry game for Switch. I mean, we got Crysis, I guess, which sort of is in that area, but not specifically Far Cry.
No, I'm surprised they didn't put Far Cry 3 on there. That was a fantastic game.
Well, they put Far Cry 1 on Wii U, or no, that was Wii. One of the Far Cry's was on there. I think that was on Wii. I think Far Cry 1 was. But I don't know. But is there any other like Wii or whatever Switch 2 stuff that you want to talk about here before we go on to our stuff we've been playing?
I think it'll read your mind.
I think it's going to be a syringe that you put in your arm, and you'll be able to experience games forever, because you'll be dead.
But the 64 ones will hurt because they're really spiky.
I don't know. I mean, I'm tired of the rumor stuff. I'd like to see some real stuff, but also I don't want it to be releasing like next month because I can't afford it. So
right.
Yeah, no, they're saying
I got stuff to do.
June.
We got plans we got to do that can't afford that. So I mean. Gotta go to that New Japan Pro Wrestling thing in April.
What I really want is there to be a new Mario game or something coming out around the time I'm in Japan, and I can like experience the hype at Nintendo World.
Oh sure, yeah, and then maybe you can get some free sake from the 7-Eleven like we did, like for the Pokemon Sword and Shield promo.
Nice.
You can put your hand in a box and you get like a coupon. Like we won like 90% of the time, but yeah, if you spend a certain amount of money, you get to like pull out a coupon from a box, and most of the time it's free stuff. And we got free sake and free beer and like all this other stuff. Actually, I don't think we got sake. I think we got whiskey. But
Did you get like?
But we did get free alcohol, like from
like
Pokemon. Like no figures, just stuff that they sold at the 7-Eleven that we got coupons for free. So I think we got free miso stuff. But yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, you'll be in the height of the Switch 2 or whatever. I'm sure there'll be a new Mario game this year. I mean, it's been a long time since Odyssey, so I mean, I'm sure
Odyssey
they've been
came
working
out
on something.
launch year of the Switch.
Yeah, 2017.
Mario will be the holiday game.
So I mean,
And I think I find it pretty easy to believe that it would be the new Mario Kart that would be the launch title.
I don't see it. I'm saying it would make sense because they sold this shit.
There's
ton
no
of 8
way they're
Deluxe.
going to sell with another version of 8.
Yeah, don't do that. We already made me buy it twice. I mean, it's like the highest selling game on the system. So I mean, do something else. But yeah, why don't we do what we normally do and talk about games we got and games that we've been playing? You can go first, John, since you're on the clock here or whatever.
Sure. Well, the big thing this week is I killed Jean-Claude Van Damme.
What did he do? What did he do to you? Did you not like that JCVD movie?
No, that was a good movie, actually. I like that movie.
Yeah, I never saw it. I always wanted to.
He was a great guile.
He was the perfect guile. That's right. I mean, he nailed that accent.
Yuck. Isn't he he's a voice of Johnny Cage in the new Mortal Kombat 1. There's you can play as a Jean-Claude Van Damme version of him.
Yes, yep.
Also kind of doesn't really make sense for Johnny Cage either, but whatever.
Well, because they tried to get him to. That's how Mortal Kombat started. Was they're trying to do a kickboxing. What was that? A kickboxer or something?
Blood sport.
They're trying to do a Jean-Claude Van Damme game, and they tried to. I think it was before it was even called Mortal Kombat or whatever. They just wanted him in a video game, and that's sort of how it started.
No.
So it's a little nod to that.
I heard they just wanted to make a blood sport game based on the movie.
That makes sense
which
too.
he was in that, but I don't know if they necessarily wanted. I mean, they probably pipe dream if they could, they would, but
Now they did. Hitman. So I beat Jean-Claude Van Damme, who was the guest target for the month. And I think that was the coolest guest target that they've done so far. I don't remember if it was revealed in the trailer or what, but it was a surprise to me anyway. When you start up the mission, you're in Chongqing, China, which is one of the levels. They kind of for these things, they just sort of rework the levels and put new items and new pathways and stuff into the level for the particular story. But so as it starts out, basically Jean-Claude Van Damme used to be a hitman for the same agency, and he kind of went rogue and became dangerous. And the agency thought they took him out, but it turns out that he survived. And 20 years on, here he is, and he's trying to do something. And so you have to go sneak back into this underground lab where he's working, under the guise of you're escorting this guy for a meeting with him, but Jean-Claude doesn't know that you're a member of the ICA, which is the organization of hitmen in the series. So you get into the lab, and you're kind of going on this little tour of what Jean-Claude has been doing. And as it turns out, and it's a surprise to Hitman and surprise to the agency, but Jean-Claude Van Damme is actually creating clones of himself. Because he is the perfect warrior, right? And his character that he plays is named Max Valiant. He's not playing himself.
Max Valiant. It's like Hercules B. Rockefeller or
right.
Max
Very
Power.
flashy name.
Yeah.
Max Power. Yep. Doing things the Max Power way.
Yeah.
And so he's made clones of himself to be, hireable hitmen throughout the world and all that. So you have to now, on the fly, your little agent who's in your ear all the time. She says, the mission has changed. We want you to kill all of the clones and Max Valiant. So you actually have to take out 13 targets. Which is really, it was really cool. It was just really fun because each of them are set up in such a way, in Hitman style, where you have options on different ways to take them out, and each of the different ways is creative and fun and interesting. And there's something funny about like taking out Jean-Claude Van Damme 13 different times in 13 different ways. A lot of them were really amusing. So I kind of break down how I did it. So one of them, I disguised myself as a bioengineer. I lied and I said that I had orders to kill one because it was defective. So I just like put it down like it was like a sick dog and everything. Like all the other engineers are talking about like, oh, but he's so cute and all that. And nope, these are the orders. The boss said I got to take him out. So I did. Another one.
Did it have you do like a shot or anything like that, or did you shoot him?
So he's like locked in a padded cell, and it's funny because he's doing they want him dead because he's just doing the dance that he did in I think it was Bloodsport. There's like a famous sequence where he's doing this sort of corny little dance. So I just walked into the padded cell. I just took him out. I just shot him. Another one, I just beat him to death in a fist fight, which was like kind of funny because he was sort of this particular clone was being presented as like an elite clone and all that, and I just like dodged him a couple of times, threw a couple of hard punches, and killed him right in front of the actual Jean-Claude Van Damme. I cooked 2 of them in a sauna. I boiled 5 of them. They're cryogenic tanks. Crushed one in a compactor, that one was funny because he's doing the splits, and imagine like there's like 2 walls that are like are mechanical and can move closer or further apart. And so I'm dressed as a scientist who's testing him while he's doing the splits, holding himself up between these 2 walls. And I tell her she's being dismissed. She can take her break, whatever. I'll take over. And then you have the option to either pull the walls apart to let him drop or squish him together. Of course, I squished him together.
Would he have died if you pull them apart too, you think?
Yeah, I actually saw the alternative. I went on YouTube.
He just falls to his death.
He just falls to his death, yeah. Okay. But he's like, they do it in a comical way where he's stretching, and then he's like stretching with his tiptoes and looking at you like, hey, what are you doing?
So are any of them actually trying to fight you back, or are they just like kind of in their little dioramas that you interact with?
And when you didn't you fist fight one of them that like fought back to you?
But I mean, like as far as the ones that are in their cryogenic tanks, like is there a way to mess that up where they come out and they fight you, or
that one? I don't think that. No, that one is more like the sort of puzzle is that they're all in the same room, but they're being observed by other people. There's like 2 sort of grunts, and then there's one scientist, and the trick is to figure out how to get them distracted so that you can mess up the buttons and boil them alive. Then for Jean-Claude himself, I found a samurai sword in his office, and I stabbed him in the back of the head with it. So that was it. It was a lot of fun.
Ouch.
I'm just, again, really impressed that they're continuing to support this game 4 years out, and
on the cloud version too.
On the cloud version too.
I think I've said this before on this podcast, but I want is for any of us who actually bought cloud versions of something, I want them to re-release like real versions of it for Switch 2 and just give it to us for free.
That'd be great.
Give us to us for free. So give me Resident Evil Village or whatever for free since I bought it. Or
what was that other one? Control
or Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever. Yeah.
Please put this out. Please put Hitman back out again as a real version, and keep all my progress
and all your DLC.
All the DLC. Yeah,
just automatically give it to us for any of us.
You can refund. Since you made it free for everybody else, please refund me like $270. That'd be cool. So that's and I 5-starred it on top of that. So yay to me.
Way to go.
Other than that, so I went to my local retro game store, which for the first time I've never actually been there before. It's local, but it's not too local. It's a couple miles away. But I just, a while back I was searching for game stores here, and I found them on Facebook. I followed them and been meaning to go for a long time. So I finally went there, and they had some interesting stuff there. They had like a lot of import stuff. They had the Nintendo DS. That was the Seattle Mariners exclusive version. That was pretty cool to see.
What's that going for? Like $300 at least?
It was $1,100.
Oh, okay. Way higher.
Yeah, there. Yep.
pretty rare.
Yeah. They had the Pikachu N64 in box.
Oh,
It wasn't
that thing
complete, but
so
they did have the
ugly.
box.
So
So
hideous.
that one was $1,100 also. Yep. A couple other things. Just, it was just fun to walk around and be in a place that is like not just, selling regular retail games, but they're actually like fans and have some really rare stuff there. So it was cool. Other than that, this week, I found a monitor. I was out door dashing and I found a curved monitor, like a nice, I think it's 32 inches. I looked it up on Amazon and it's worth about $600. It doesn't have the cord, so I haven't been able to test it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know that it works or not? Because I put my TV in the trash, and I'm sure it looked cool for anybody who wanted it, but it didn't have a cord either, but it was broken, So
Didn't have a cord, but I picked it up. I mean, it looks like it's a relatively new monitor. I didn't check out what year that came out, but it's still for sale on Amazon. So
you can probably get a cord for it on Amazon pretty cheap.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So it's worth, investing $10 or whatever. Get a
and then
cord.
Send the cord back if you don't.
If it doesn't work, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, so I mentioned that I was doing DoorDash. I've been doing it a lot lately.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you still did it because I've been doing. Well, I do Grubhub, but I've been doing Grubhub kind of on the regular because that's just what I do as a regular job when the audio stuff isn't as current. Which I'm actually supposed to have some days next week, so that's good. But I did have like one Grubhub thing that I wasn't going to mention. But since you're mentioning DoorDash, I just want to. I went to Chuck E. Cheese in Chicago to pick up a pizza.
Someone actually ordered a Grubhub.
Somebody ordered a Chuck E. Cheese pizza from Grubhub.
Wow, yes. You could order. You're in Chicago. You're like in the.
I know, right?
Pizza,
it was
the
so weird.
In the world, you're ordering.
Yeah, they ordered
Chuck E. Cheese.
They ordered like a large cheese pizza from like the Chuck E. Cheese on Fullerton.
I was going to say, was
driven
it something
by a
interesting?
billion times.
Cheese.
And I got to see what the new Chuck E. Cheese is like, and it's it's exactly kind of what you described it as on the podcast. It's a place to just throw your really loud, annoying kids and just let them run around for how many hours. There's like there's no animatronics. There was like just one big screen TV with kind of like an interactive dance pad thing under it that the kids were kind of jumping on that would make different lights or whatever, and a bunch of different arcade games. And
not
like
real arcade games though, right? They have like the.
I didn't have time to look,
They're all
like I said, there was a lot of screaming.
This
was on a Saturday afternoon, so there was a shit ton of screaming kids. I already really didn't want to be there, so I mean, I'm not going to go around and look around and see if the arcades are real or not. I just saw big arcade-looking machines with flashing lights in there with kids screaming around them. That's what I saw. I tried to get in and out as quick as I could, get the pizza and get the fuck out of there before those screaming kids make me go insane. But yeah. I didn't see any animatronics. I saw they were playing some fucking song of kids singing or whatever, and they were dancing on this floor mat. And yeah, they kind of look like the shitty arcade games that the newer Chuck E. Cheese had anyway. Because I went to the one in Peoria that I used to go to that used to be a Showbiz Pizza, and all they had was shitty. They weren't real arcades. They were like arcades with Chuck E. Cheese and friends, and you hit a button a couple times and you get tickets, and you trade them in for something. So that's not anything new. Like I used to play the original Star Wars arcade game there, when I was younger, but that's gone. That's not there anymore. Or I played like the Turtles game and the Simpsons game, but none of those games were there. Like when I went there in like the late '90s, like early 2000s. So I mean, the real arcade games have been gone for a long time. So I mean, I figure it's still the same shitty kind of simple ones that you can get tickets from.
Yeah.
But I saw the inside of it, and yeah, somebody actually ordered that, but. Maybe they had a kid that really wanted Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know. It was weird. I mean, but whatever. It was like $10, so whatever. But I did that. Yeah, that was my grow up story there. Seeing what Chuck E. Cheese looks like, and it was packed. So they're still getting business. I guess there was a ton of people there. The whole parking lot was full. I had a hard time finding a parking spot.
It's working for somebody.
It's work. Yeah, some people are doing. There were like I said, there were a lot of kids there. A lot of very loud kids. But yeah, what else did you do?
DoorDash. Yeah, there's a lot of downtime when you're doing that, and like, so I got Netflix on my phone.
Not if it's steady. Well, I guess the most downtime I have is whenever I have to wait for food that isn't ready yet, which is always annoying.
Yeah, no, since I'm not in a major metropolitan area, there's a lot of downtime.
Oh, sure, it's probably not as busy there.
Yeah, so I just wanted something to watch. but I didn't want to watch anything like narrative or demanding of my attention because I kind of wanted to like, stay in the zone of trying to do some work and all that. So, wrestling. And Netflix is the one service that I have right now.
No.
So I watched
So
WWE.
you watch, traitor. No, I watched some of it too, and man, they sniff their farts so much on that fucking show. Like, it's all like fart sniffing for like 40 minutes before they have an actual match. It's like they needed 40 minutes of The Rock to come out and just be like, how great it is to finally be on Netflix. And let's cut to all the actors from all the Netflix shows that are there. And let's talk about how expensive the venue is that we're in. It's like, oh my God. Do you guys ever...
like people from Stranger Things there?
It's like, did you guys ever fight each other? No, I mean, I didn't see any Stranger Things actors.
We talk about
there,
specifically the very first one that was.
I'm talking about
Netflix,
the first one,
right?
Yeah.
So
I watched like an hour of it.
The second one, they did less of that. There was a couple of moments of, wow, we're on Netflix, whatever, blah blah blah. But
I'm just saying, if AEW did that, if AEW fucking did that, and we had like, Colin Farrell like sitting in the first row talking about the Penguin show or whatever, like people would be, you'd never hear the end of it. People would bitch so much about it. But WWE can do whatever the fuck they want. And they'll be like, oh yeah, no, it's so great.
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was like nice to watch something like that I could like look at and just sort of be entertained by, but only have half my attention on it. So I found it was a nice thing to like tune in and out of over the course of the day while I was trying to do some work. Did
you see Penta then?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, because I guess he's officially you probably recognize him from a game called AEW Fight Forever, but he made the jump from AEW to WWE because basically wants to try to make a ton of money and retire. Which understandable, but hopefully he doesn't get shit on over there. I know they're not great with non-white wrestlers at WWE, but but they put Hogan on there.
People were cheering.
They put Hogan on there, and he got booed out of the stadium. Did he make an appearance in the second episode? They bring his racist ass back? Yeah.
No, he won't be making an appearance for a long time.
Yeah, probably not. I'm surprised they even brought him, like, at all.
I take that back. So they didn't have him there live, but they did some kind of promo or whatever that he had.
Oh yeah, because they're gonna they're gonna do ads for his beer, right? For his Real American Beer or whatever.
Maybe that was it. I don't remember. It was some pre-taped thing.
Yeah,
they cut to. He was there for like 30 seconds or whatever on that ad.
Yeah,
that was it. Other than that, I watched Ranma 1/2, the latest, newest one on Netflix.
Yeah, the remake. I never saw it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was gregreat.
Speaking of anime, though, you have Netflix. Why aren't you watching Dan to Dan or Don to Don? I like calling it Dan.
Don to Don.
It's on my list.
I call it Dan to Dan because it sounds funnier. But I mean, you should be watching that show. Are you
watching the new Ranma?
I watched the new one. Yeah, they don't have the old one on there.
There's not very much of it on there. So.
Have you seen it? Did you watch the new one, Jeremy?
I watched the first couple of episodes, but I watched the other one so recently that I felt like I was seeing the same thing again, even though I'm sure there's differences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually thought that was like a bit surprising to me in a good way. I felt like I was right back watching the old show from the early 90s. I think they kind of nailed everything. They nailed the tone, they nailed the look. They made it prettier and all that. I thought the animation was really good, really impressive.
I haven't gotten far enough to see like how much they dialed back the perviness, but there's definitely still some of that in there.
There's still some of that in there, but the little old man who was like the main source of perviness.
Yeah, I didn't make it to him yet.
He didn't appear.
He still is. Oh, he has.
He doesn't show up for a while in the first show. So I don't know.
Maybe he'll show up later. I don't know.
Because the episode that he shows up is when like it's the two dads are like freaking out because their trainer is coming back. They found out that he's like coming, but they thought he was dead because they actually like tried to kill him. But he like came back out. He like dug himself out of the ground, and then now he chased them down because their training's not done. And it's kind of funny and morbid, but that was the way it was in the original show. So if they bring it back, I imagine it'll be like a dad-centric episode. You'll know it's coming.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, I like the way they bring back all the other characters, and I thought Shampoo was like one of my favorite characters, and I just finished watching it when she came back. And it's just like revisiting some old friends. I thought they did a great job on the show.
I guess there's like 5. There's 12 episodes of the
There's
new
12
one.
episodes. Yeah. I think what I
That's
like
the
about it
season.
the most is that everything is up to 11. That's just how they do it on that show. Like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of anime that I like is either the serious and really violent, gory ones, or these absolutely goofy ones that are just bonkers and off the wall. That's what Ranma is. It's
You're gonna
just
like Don to Don. It's both.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's funny and it's definitely, and the animation is incredible. Like it looks
Yeah.
really really good. I mean, it was on part of my stuff, but we went to Mitsuwa. We went to Sushi Station in Mitsuwa for Jess's birthday.
What's Mitsuwa?
It's a Japanese grocery store in,
Oh, okay.
in Arlington Heights, and they have a big bookstore there, which has like comic books and video game books and all this other shit, and like models. Actually, I got a.
Is that where you got your art book?
That's
Your
where I got.
Dragon
That's
Quest
where I
art
got my Dragon Quest art book. Yeah.
Okay.
But I bought this little mini Pokemon model. It's got a
That's the owl guy.
it's Rowlet. Yeah.
And it's like a plastic model.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like I think it's just a couple things that you snap together. I haven't opened it yet, but yeah, it's just a little model. They have a whole bunch of like of the Gunplas there, which are really expensive actually. I was looking at the
I bet.
I was looking at the Witch from Mercury Gundam stuff because that's what I like, the newer series. And the cheapest one I could find was like $200 some, and it was about 5 times the size of this. This is like a tiny one. This was $10, so I was like, I'm fine with it. I thought maybe I could open it and fuck around with it later when it's my stuff. But I got that from Mitsuwa, and also I got they have a whole bunch of capsule machines as well. What else is in here? Oh yeah, they got
Did
a whole.
you feel like you were in Japan again?
Not really. I mean, there's a lot more capsule machines there, but now Mitsuwa, I mean, I like that place a lot. I was like, I'm not going to spend any money, and we still spent like $200 there. But anyway, I got they have a bunch of different capsule machines, and some of them you can use a credit card or you get a token and you put them in, and you get whatever. And I went, I was looking at different ones. I thought about doing a Gundam one, but I ended up doing a Kirby one, and I got the Kirby. I got the little Kirby. That's
Oh,
the
cool.
cars. And this cost me $6 for this thing.
Oh,
So it's you put you scan your card, and this was like it was this and 5 other Kirby ones. There's the little.
so you got to pick which one you wanted.
No. That's the fun. You gotta hope that you get the one that you want, but this is the one that I wanted. I mean, it's a capsule machine. You turn it,
And it's $6
and hopefully you get it. So I basically scanned my card for it's like you get one token for $2, and
Okay.
each capsule machine will say like 1 token,
tokens.
2 tokens, 3 tokens, whatever. It'll tell you like how many tokens you need for it. And I was like, well, I had a couple bucks on me. I was like, well, maybe I'll do like a $6 one or something. And I saw the Kirby one. I was like, all right, well, I like Kirby. Let's try that. And that one had a card, had like a card scanner on it. So I just scanned my card. And it actually charged me $50 for it, but then it went back to 60 when it cleared. I was like, well, I guess I'm glad I had that space in there, But there it is. It's got a little stand, little Kirby. But yeah, it's cool.
pretty cool.
It's the one that I wanted. But yeah, no, they had these ones that were like cats in shark suits, which I wanted that one, but they were all sold out. But yeah, there's like different ones that that you can get, and this is what I wanted. And also I got a little like stationary, like a little pencil with legs for Jess. That was like $1 or $2 or something like that. Because they had different ones, and I wanted to get the eraser one, but the pencil one is funny. It's with the legs. So yeah, I got some of those. Oh, there's my wrong camera.
Nice.
But yeah, but what the reason I brought it up is in Mitsuwa, I sent you guys a bunch of pictures on Slack, but they have like giant stand-ups of like the 2 main characters of Don to Don like there, and they got the manga, like that's the thing. Like if you like any of the show, like you can buy they have like all the delicious in Dungeon like manga, and they have the Don to Don and a whole bunch of whatnot, like all those comic books and whatnot. So
Shonen.
So right when you walked in, there was big stand-ups of the 2 main characters of Don and Don. I was like, hey, look, there they are. So I took a picture of them, put them on the internet, and sent them to you. And yeah, and there was Elden Ring manga books, which I had never seen before. Like those were funny.
Those look really interesting. I like the
Yeah.
art
Yeah,
a lot.
I'd never seen that. Or like the cat gamer that showed the cat sleeping on the Switch. Like that was funny. It's just called Cat Gamer. It has a cat sleeping on a Switch on the front cover. But yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, we went there. Went there for just his birthday. And Sushi Station is like a rotary sushi place that we normally go to. That's really good. We hadn't been there in a while, so it's a good stuff. And then Mitsuya, yeah, we just went and bought a bunch of ramen and other stuff. We bought a little thing of sake too there, which already is gone.
Oh,
But yeah, if you wanna take a break, let's take a break, and then we'll come back and talk
Sure.
about our stuff.
Hey, you.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, you. Subscribe to our Patreon to hear our bonus shows, which happen every month.
I'm tired.
Tired of all the big corporate podcasts spoon-feeding you the same old video game news on every single show?
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
Then expand!
With NintenDomain Expansion Pack.
It's us talking about old games that were important to us. It's us interviewing people that we meet at conventions. And heck, it's live shows from those same conventions. It's basically everything you could want that NintenDomain ever made.
Here we go!
And it's just $1 a month.
That's less than a bad indie on the eShop.
It's $12 a year, which is less than Nintendo Switch Online.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon and supporting NintenDomain.
Just go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast and hey, Mario, let go. Whoa! He's throwing us back to the show.
So long, Bowser.
Patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast.
Game over.
The story begins with who's gonna win, knowing the danger that lies within. A boy, the arc, a genius at heart, wanting to unlock the mysteries of life. I am the Eggman, that's what I am. I am the Eggman, I got the master plan. I am the Eggman, that's what I am. I am the Eggman, I got the master plan.
All right, we're back from the break. I guess since I already started talking about my stuff, I could talk about the rest of my stuff. I did want to open this. I'm going to open this thing on the show here. This the Rowlet guy. Like I said,
Oh heck yeah!
the box
On air unboxing.
The it says quick. It says model kit quick on it, and in the corner it says like you don't need tools. You don't need like a X-Acto knife or anything like that. It should just snap together. So I think it's just kind of like just a little. Oh, it's a little more complicated than I thought. I thought maybe I could put it together in the show, but I don't know. It doesn't have that many parts, but for anybody who's watching it, it's
just one like little plate of parts.
Yeah, it's got like Rowlet's like outside here and like the little bow tie and part of the face or whatever and the feet. I could probably snap it together in 10 minutes or something, but yeah, I always and there's like instructions on the inside too here on how to put them in. But I'm always interested in models and stuff, and I thought about getting a Gundam model while I was there, but also it was like
Very
I
expensive.
got to get this thing home. Also, it was kind of big. But I ended up going with those little. I got those little rubber. I got the rubber Gundam guys that are on the TV back there that I got at I forget where it was, but there's another place that had a whole bunch of floors that had different.
Are they the ones that were like little muscle figures, but they're like Gunpla instead?
They're like this. This is
they're like painted.
This is what they look like. They're just. I mean, they're just. They're just little guys. He's just a little
Standing
guy.
all statuesque.
This is just the original. That's the original MG Gundam. MG or what? MS Gundam. Mobile Suit Gundam. Not MG Gundam. That's Gundam.
That's Gundam.
But anyway, yeah, we went to Mitsuwa for Jess's birthday. And then what was it on Sunday? Yeah, we went and did all that stuff on Sunday. And then Monday, we were just going to hang out all day. And, we pretty much drank like all day. So we got up and had Bloody Marys, a couple Bloody Marys for lunch. And then we drank, this sour triple beer, which is like 9%. And that Squall stuff that we had at your wedding party also. But Jess was like, I don't really want to play anything. I don't want to watch anything. Let's just play Mario Party. So we played Mario Party like all day. We played like 1.5 games. So that was fun.
It's like 4 hours.
Yeah, somewhat. We didn't finish the second game. We were trying to finish it today, and we still have like one round left because we were playing the racing level. And what was the one? Oh, we did Bowser's level. I'd never played that one, like the final Bowser board. We did that one where there's like a conveyor belt in the middle that you can switch. It switches a lot. And there's actually a interesting thing in the board that I haven't seen in any other Mario Party game. Like whenever you run into Bowser, he'll take stuff from you. He'll take like your money or your stars or whatever. There's like a pit. There's like a Bowser pit where he puts all the shit in there. And there's a code. Like, there's like a 2-digit code. And you can go past it and try to guess it, and it'll show like which ones have been guessed and which ones are wrong.
Oh, okay.
And there's like there's 2 lines of 1 through 10. And if you can figure out the code, you can get all the stuff that Bowser has stolen from people. And I thought that was interesting because I never really saw that in another Mario Party game. So that's
really cool.
So that's cool.
Like if you had several people playing it, okay.
Yeah. And there's a sign on the side also that will tell you exactly what is in there. So when you go past it, there's a little chalkboard that they change, and it'll say like, all right, well, there's 300 stars in here, and there are 300 coins in here, and 2 stars, or whatever. It'll tell you like what's in there, So
they'll put stars in it.
Yeah, if Bowser steals stars from you, they'll go in there. It's basically everything that Bowser steals from you is like his hoard, and you can open it if you can figure out the code.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think it changes. I think it changes every time. So that was something I didn't know about for Mario Party. But
so it won't be the same when you play it. Like you play a different game.
No, I don't think it's the same. I mean,
It's 100 different possibilities.
I played it because I played the Bowser level in single player, but that's much different because you don't roll the dice; you just walk around and look at different stuff. And in single player, you can talk to all of Bowser's minions, and eventually they'll tell you what the code is. Like they'll give you code, they'll give you they'll give you hints about it, and that's part of beating the game is figuring out what the code is, and then you get to fight whatever. But yeah, we get to play that. We played that final one, and yeah, it's still fun. Mario Party Jamboree was on my list somewhere. Yeah, one reason I hope that the Switch isn't happening tomorrow is that I still need to get that Top 10 2024 video out, and I'm like about halfway through it. But I was like, I'll drop it, and no one will want to see it because it'll be all Switch too. No, yeah, I'm almost through it, and I was still, last week I was still playing through the games to try to like capture the footage that I was going to use for the edit and all that. And I was playing Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. And I didn't even remember where I was at. I guess I was in the middle of this town of these pirates or whatever, and I had already fought a bunch of them, and I found the head pirate, and I talked to him, and he's like, all right, I'll surrender. I'll put up a white flag right now. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then the game, like, just stops, and it's like 115 years later, and I'm like, oh, no, wait, I don't want to, like, do this all over again, because then I'll have to put a team together, and that's going to be this whole thing. And there was a bunch of stuff I hadn't done, so I, like, went back to one of my old saves, and try to get, to where I wasn't in the pirate world left. And then I went and talked to this king guy who was dying, and he's like, I want you to visit my kids and talk to them and, help me decide who's the worthy successor or whatever to me. So I go and I talk to the kids, and then I come back and I talk to the old man. And I was like, all right, you should give it, your daughter should be the one that gets the crown. And he's like, I agree, that's what we'll do. And then, we have tea and he writes it down or whatever. And then the next day he's dead. The king is dead already. And I'm like, what? And you find out that the king was killed by somebody else. and they want the youngest kid to take it so the kid can be controlled by this other guy who's like trying to control the kingdom or whatever. Anyway, there was this whole huge side story that I would have missed if I would have just went and did the pirate thing. I would have skipped all this shit. But yeah, you go and you rescue the kid, and then you got to fight your way through this like through like this underground tunnel like to get out. And there's this huge like snake boss at the end who ended up killing all of my characters. And I got a game over where it's like, all right, everybody's dead. Now you have to like move all your stuff to the next generation of characters. And I'm like, fuck no. So I like rage quit it. So I'm going to try to go back and beat because I don't want to because it's basically like everybody's dead and you have to like make new characters. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. But yeah, anyway, the game is I'm finding cool stuff in there that I didn't really know about. And I even like pulled my video off of my old because I have a video of me playing the original like release of it, like the Super Nintendo Romancing Saga, and I just used a second of that. I just wanted a second of me being like, I don't understand this game, and I found it on there, and I kind of stuck it in the video. So there's a little there's a rollback, 7 years or whatever, whenever I played that and record myself in there. So there'll be some fun stuff in there whenever it comes out. I get some fun shit, like the opening sizzle reel is fun too. But yeah, I'm still playing Ys, Oath, and Felghana. Also, it's been a good editing game because I edited this one, and I think it was the other one too. But it's been a good one to play through. And that boss that I was on, I got through that. Like it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I'm getting a lot of more of the hang of the game. A lot of it is just dodge and attack as quick as you can, like on whatever boss, and make sure you're fully leveled up, and you can like upgrade your weapons and that sort of thing, and you collect this material that you use to upgrade your weapons with. You need a certain amount of it to do it. And I was looking through some of the old Ys games that are on there, and you can actually get the original Ys 3 that is like, what is it, PC 88 or whatever. And I watched some of the videos of it, and you can tell like they're very similar. Like you can see like the same bosses. They're in Oath of Felghana, or like some of the same characters. Like they really took a lot of it and made it as close as they could to the original Ys 3. And this one is all in Japanese, so I wouldn't be able to figure it out. But I thought about playing it just to play it, because Ys 3, I guess, was the turning point where they changed from the bump combat to actual, it's like a 2D game where you can jump and you actually hit a button to swipe the sword and all that stuff. And it's only like $6, so maybe I'll get that one in the future. But, oh yeah, and one more thing, what I said is my nickname, that Twitter is still good for some things. After, what was it, Sunday night? Was it Sunday? No, I guess it was Sunday night. After Jess went to bed, I was just kind of fucking around on my phone, and I turned on Twitter, and somebody had uploaded the entire movie of Sonic 3. So I watched Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie, on Twitter.
On your phone.
Well, I didn't watch it on my phone. I watched it on my TV through I airdropped it to the TV.
Nice.
And watched it. But yeah, I watched it. I watched the movie through Twitter for free.
That's awesome.
Was it good quality or was it sketchy?
No, it was fine. I mean, I was, the audio was there. I mean, it was, it's not like full 1080p or whatever, but it was probably like 600p or something like that. It looked fine. Like the audio was there, like everything.
It's just like a CRT filter or something.
No, I mean, it doesn't have scan lines or anything like that. It looks fine. It just, it's like when you watch a video at kind of a lower quality, but it's not like, it wasn't bad. It just didn't look like pristine 4K or whatever. But I didn't even watch it on 4K TV anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Did it do that glitchy stuff where like the images would bleed together and stuff?
No, no, it wasn't that bad. No, I thought it looked great. I mean, you could see the fur, of the characters and all that. They look like they're supposed to do. And yeah, I watched it. It's like an hour and 45 minutes, and I was trying to edit my video, but I was having issues with my computer, which I found out later. It's because my iMovie was basically using all of the memory from my laptop, so there was no memory left, and that's why it was freezing up and all that.
So you have to make sure it's turned off before you, or something like that.
Well, normally I would do all the capturing like on my external drive, but it was set to the regular hard drive on my laptop and not the external.
Oh,
so,
I see.
So it was it took up like 500 gigs. On my computer, and I only had
I've done that a lot.
I only had so much left. And actually, I got a warning, and I only had like 600 megabytes left or something like that. And like same thing happens with my phone. Like when you get a low amount of memory, everything kind of stops working very well, and everything was freezing. And I didn't know what it was. But anyway, I had time to kill, so I watched Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and it was good. It was a pretty good movie.
Would you agree that it's the best of the bunch?
Yeah, I think so. I liked it the bunch. And you know what? I came to this conclusion also. Really, you can't kill Tom, man. You really can't. He's got to stay there.
Why not?
Because the whole movie was about family. The whole fucking thing was about family. That was what the point of it was. So if you kill Tom, then you don't have the family.
All the more reason to kill him, because then
he's barely in it. He's barely even in the movie anymore. Like
all the more reason to kill him. Just kill him. Just do it. Quit doing this thing where you have to have him go on vacation.
It's a movie for kids, John. It's for kids. They're gonna be sad if Tom gets killed. I'm just saying.
No.
I don't think he's gonna get killed.
People die in Pixar movies, and people say, "Oh, those are great, like real movies."
Yeah, kill him at the beginning of the movie, like they killed the wife and Up, and then everyone will just be sad, and that'll be like it'll be a celebration of his life, but with no flashbacks, please.
I don't think they should kill him.
No flashbacks.
No flashback. No,
because then he's still in the movie.
Just kill him and leave him in the dust. No flashbacks.
It's like Fast and the Furious now. It's about family. These Sonic movies are about family, and he's family. And
yeah, what if he comes back as a hologram, or he comes back as like a hedgehog?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like a Harley Quinn. Like all of a sudden, Tom is gonna show up in Sonic games. Even though he was created just for the TV, just for the movies, just like Harley Quinn was made just for the cartoon, and then she showed up
Sonic
in the comics.
3D Blast style.
Yeah, we're gonna see him in front. We're gonna see him in Frontiers too. We're gonna see Tom in there. No, I don't think so. But no, I liked it, and he's really barely in it. But I don't know. I thought it would have been kind of weird if it was just like, oh yeah, he's dead. But then
so Trey, you've seen the whole trilogy now, right?
I have. I've seen all of them. Yeah.
So what's your favorite one of the three?
This one, the third one, is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
And John, you said the same?
Yep. That's a good movie.
Okay. Do I need to see 2 to see 3?
I mean, you don't necessarily, but I did like 2.
2 is a good movie too.
Yeah, I did like 2. Well, the thing about it is like, the more Sonic characters you have in it, the better it gets. Like, I felt like the whole like chemistry between like Tails and Knuckles and Sonic was great. Like they have a lot of really good lines and a lot of funny stuff. And Knuckles is hilarious. Like he's pretty much like
Drax.
He's like Drax the Destroyer from Guardians of the Galaxy, where he takes everything at face value. And
who is it? Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba does great with the voice, and Keanu Reeves is great too. And it doesn't really sound. I mean, I didn't think it fully sounds like him.
No, he's doing some voice acting.
Like he doesn't sound like it's like, oh, that's Keanu. Like there's he's putting.
Does he mention Kung Fu?
No. But it's I mean, they got this whole origin story with him and his girlfriend or whatever, which that's in the game, right?
It's
like
Maria,
where he had a girlfriend.
Yeah, it's not his girlfriend.
Is he the one that kisses a girl, or is it Sonic that kisses a human?
No, you're thinking of
or
Sonic in Sonic 2006. That's when that happened.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I never played the 2006 one, so.
No, in Sonic Adventure 2, it's the same story as plays out in the movie. That he is in a lab. He's sort of captured and kept in the lab, but his only sort of contact is this young girl, Maria.
It's like the granddaughter of the whatever.
Granddaughter of Gerald Robotnik.
The commander of Gun or whatever it's called. Yeah.
And I was like,
are you talking about Metal Gear Solid or Sonic?
No, it's Metal Gear Solid, or I mean Sonic. Metal Gear Sonic. No, it's Sonic 3.
There you go.
Regarding that whole relationship with Shadow and Maria, it was like, I don't know, it was like kind of weird in the Dreamcast version too. Like I remember playing that game and being like,
I do not remember her.
It's kind of weird. It's like
I played through the game like both sides on the GameCube version. But I don't remember. I don't remember her. I honestly don't really remember much of that game at all, though. So I mean, I must have blown through it pretty quickly. I don't really. All I remember is that you could play as Rouge and Eggman and Shadow, and as you could do 2 different sides of the story in Sonic Adventure. That's all I remember. And there was a real
Eggman.
Yeah. You could play as the bad guys too. You could do the bad side and the good side. And I remember there was a really bad kart racing mode in it, but that might have only been in the GameCube version. I don't know if that was in the Dreamcast version or not. Was there a racing game in the Dreamcast one?
Yes, there was.
Oh, okay.
It was bad. Yep.
Is it a foot race or is it a car race?
No, you're in
kart race.
It's not good. It's not like Sonic Racing. It was just really boring, and there was no items or anything. And yeah,
It wasn't much to it. But back to Maria and Shadow and all that. It was weird in the Dreamcast. It was kind of like, I don't know. Is this like a romantic thing that they got going on? But she's a young girl and all that. And I thought like it was sort of edging toward being weird in the movie too. But I don't know. In the end, it just came off as like, oh yeah, they're like just friends.
she was the only one. I mean, she, like I said, the whole point of the movie is family. So Shadow's family was her, and then she, she got killed, or he thinks she got killed. So that's why he goes bad. That's why he turns heel. And Dr. Robotnik never had a family, so that's why he's what he is. But then he finds his like alleged grandfather, and then he has family. But then he finds out later that his real family is his assistant. Like it's like this running theme through the whole thing about whether people have family or not. And that's what That's
all
the
the
whole
reason
real
to
family
kill Tom.
Yeah. But I mean, what? Like I said, you really barely see him. Even in the credits, it says like, and Tom, like it's and whatever his name is, Brandon Marston or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Like it's
It
obviously
did a
like he
little
has
fake out
like
thing.
the least amount of time in there. He's very to the side of everybody.
Least amount of Tom.
least
It did a
amount
little
of time.
fake out thing where it was
Do you
like,
think the movies the rating would match how much Tom is in them and where it would be is 1, 2, 3?
I mean, if you reverse it, I would say Tom is in the movie the least in the third one.
the less time you get, the better the movie gets.
You keep adding more characters. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I liked 2, is because we had Tails in there and we have Knuckles and we could do more like Sonic stuff. But then we have the whole wedding thing on Hawaii, which who cares?
They need to do like a Castaway style desert island one with just Sonic. Get rid of all the characters. Just
Well,
Sonic.
eventually there's going to be, because Amy shows up at the end of this one. Spoilers, but and then we're going to have Rouge and Big the Cat, and like we're just going to not have room for anybody else. And eventually we're going to have to bring the Werehog in there. I mean, I know how popular he is. Like we got to do the Werehog Sonic, where he turns into a Werehog and runs around
That's
and
true.
attacks people or whatever when they run
So
out
are there
of
guns
ideas.
yet?
Yes.
There's a gun.
Shadow has a gun.
Shadow has a gun. Has a gun and a motorcycle.
Nice.
So there you go. I mean, you don't have Paramount Plus, right? It'll be on there pretty soon if you do. That's how I watched Sonic 2 was on Paramount Plus because it came out really, really quickly after the movie did. So
Well, maybe I'll look for some full movies on Twitter.
yeah, I mean, it was when I watched it, it had been on Twitter for like 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And this person was like, "Oh yeah, they'll never take it down." And then I checked it the next day, and it was gone. But I mean, I'm glad I watched it when I did. Maybe it was good that my computer was fucking up, so I could watch all of Sonic 3 for free on my TV here. But I mean, it looked fine. It's got some fun. There's a Chow Garden in there. They go to Tokyo. There's some fun Japanese stuff in there. And it's there's
Well,
some.
shit,
There's
now
some,
you got me wanting to watch it.
there's some funny lines. And Jim Carrey's Jim Carrey. He's got some dumb fat jokes in there that I don't really care for, but he got less bad about that later.
Nothing transphobic.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Nope.
Not that I've noticed.
I'm just thinking of like his Ace Ventura stuff.
Oh yeah. Ace Ventura 1 is not aged good in any way, shape, or form. It's very whatever. But yeah, that's what I did. But yeah, I recommend Sonic 3. It was good. It was a good time, and I did laugh. Like I said, I did laugh at some of the lines in there between the Sonic and Tails and Knuckles. They were fun.
Well, I've only been playing one game this week, and that's Memoire Refantazio.
How many hours do you have in that thing?
So I just crossed 60 hours.
Okay, man, I wish there wasn't like. I wish I didn't have to dedicate like 6 hours a week to this podcast, so I could put 60 hours in a game. No, I'm
Right.
kidding. I mean,
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
I just y'all know how I am.
Yeah, you get
I just get-
hyperfixation. I have the opposite of that, where I have hyper distractibility.
Well, you like you said, you also have things to do.
Yeah, but also I get heavily easily distracted by other things. It's hard for me to, especially like 100-hour games. It has to be something for me to actually finish it.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be a 100-hour game because I think I'm close to the end, but I could be wrong because
No. I thought it was like I thought it was 100 plus hours. I thought it was like kind of along the lines of the Personas, which are normally over 100 hours each.
Well, I mean, I'd be happy if it was because I'm not ready for it to be done. But yeah, I'm up to I have 7 playable characters now, and I only just recently figured out you can swap them out during battle. so you can like take people out with low HP and put someone else in or whatever.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't know that.
You can do that. Well, I was gonna say, I think you can do that in some of the Dragon Quest games, some of the later ones.
But anyway, I think it's probably necessary for beating some of the enemies, especially on normal. But I've taken it down to easy for a couple of the bosses. Some of these bosses are just maybe I'm probably just not doing it right, but like I've beat some of them, and some of the bosses have taken like 30 plus minutes to beat because it's just like they're like damage sponges and they're like killing my guys, and I gotta keep reviving them. But I will say I'm to the point in the game where I've got like 50, at least 50 of each of like the nice high healing items and stuff, and all of my people can heal if they need to, and yada yada. So I've been having a lot of fun with the just building up the whatever they would be called personas. They're called archetypes here, and switching them around so everybody can learn the different spells. And there's a Colosseum in this, which is cool because everything takes up time, but
Like you can kind of grind in there.
you can kind of grind in there. Like it's going to take up a chunk of time, but what it does is it's like you have to play 30 battles in a row, and you have to survive all 30. And then I don't know because I haven't lost one yet, but it lets you leave whatever you want, and then you get to keep whatever experience and items you got.
But you got to start over when you come back, right?
You do have to start over.
Yeah,
Again.
kind of like the Cave of Ordeals or whatever it was called in Paper
Yeah.
Mario, where you got to go.
I mean,
like,
very
through
much like
100,
that.
100 levels or whatever.
I
and
would
fight
say
the
it's
guys.
probably a little easier because you can just use as many items as you like. This game lets you carry a shit ton of items.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Or, like,
yeah.
I
Paper
haven't
Mario
realized.
only lets you carry like 20 or something like that.
I haven't run into any trouble with running out of space or anything. In fact, I've been holding on to all my weapons, and that's probably one of the reasons I don't have as much money as I feel I should
Oh,
to
'cause
buy
you
like
didn't
crazy
sell anything?
overpowered stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever you switch people out, you have to switch out their equipment too,
Oh sure.
and it does it automatically in like a optimal way. But you sometimes have to go in and tweak it. But I that means if I like am ever going to have someone training as a knight, then I got to keep whatever the highest knight weapon is around, or maybe I want to keep a couple around because they have different affinities. And then by the time I think about all that, I'm like, I don't even want to think anymore, and I just don't sell any of it. I just sell like extra copies of stuff and just keep one of each. But anyway, I had some pretty crazy things happen. I don't want to spoil the game because I have a feeling people listening to this might want to play it eventually, including you, Trey. I'm sure you'll want to play this game eventually because
I'll play it.
It's-
Yeah, I'll play it. At some
it's
The
point.
rumor.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I said it last week.
Well,
Go ahead, John.
I wish the rumor
There's a
came
rumor
from
that
our podcast because last week I said the Metaphor Refantazio was going to be on Switch too. I said
Yeah.
it, so I should be on IGN where it's like
You're credited for the
Trey,
rumor.
Trey the Hate says, no,
Trey the
don't
Hate.
call me that. But I mean, I did say it last
Just
week
Trey.
that Metaphor Refantazio was going to be on Switch because the company already said that they would put that they would be putting Persona 3 Reload on Switch 2 when that was announced in the beginning of last year.
Right.
So I mean, they've Atlas's, and not to mention that the supports they've already done for Switch 1. So yeah, it's going to be on Switch 2.
The
Well, they
rumor
were
is
prob-
not only that it's coming to Switch 2, but that it's going to come very soon, like launch window.
Oh yeah, I mean
It's gonna be one of the first. Yeah.
that's kind of what they said about Persona 3 Reload also. So I mean,
Considering the
I figured they would do
accolades
the same.
and the adoption rate of it or whatever, they've sold so many copies of that game, of this game I'm talking about. So yeah, I have a feeling they know that they can make a lot more money if they sell it elsewhere. And I'm sure they're going to do like a deluxe version eventually, and they're probably going to add content and all that, like they do with the Personas. But anyway, I'm to the point where I can like travel wherever I want, really, and because a lot of the game is based around like it's based around time, so you have to like budget your time a little bit, and going somewhere further away takes more time. But eventually, you get like a teleportation ability, so you only spend your time one way, and then you teleport back, and so that's kind of cool. But now I have the ability to basically go anywhere in one day, unless it's like in a really like if there's like mountains around it or something, because then my craft can't land. But yeah, my craft can fly.
Oh, do you have an
Whereas-
airship or equivalent?
It's an equivalent. Yeah, it's more.
I mean, that's cool.
Mech biological or whatever. Biomechanical. There we go.
I mean, he never got an airship in Persona as far as I know. So
this takes, like I said, it takes the airship concept and it's a little bit of their spin on it. It's more like a house with wings, maybe, and legs. That's what it is. A gauntlet runner.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I'll probably have this finished, I would say, by the next week. But yeah, I don't know. I can't say enough good about this game. This game's great. The character development's cool. I care about all the characters that they brought in, and there's been some big twists. It's one of those kind of games. So there's been some crazy twists, and they're not afraid to kill people in this game. They'll kill the fuck out of just about anybody, adults, kids, whatever. It's pretty brutal.
Got to keep it interesting.
Yeah, right. So I mean, it's like a really good anime that you get to play as an RPG.
Oh yeah.
What could be better? That's probably why it reminds me so much of Dragon Quest.
Sure. Yeah, I'm like I said, I was either going to get it on the cheap for PS4, but like I said, I'd put money on it being a Switch 2 game. Like I guarantee it, especially since we already got all the, with the Shin Megami Tensei exclusive.
Do Persona games do New Game Plus? Is that a thing?
I think they do. I mean, I've never played them long enough to get there, but
I'm sure. All I'd have to do is Google, does this have New Game Plus? But I don't know.
Whenever we had 6 on our show,
I probably will play it again.
Whenever we had 6 on our show, they were saying for Persona 5, because you have maybe it does this in Metaphor also. You can build up your your bravery as to where you can say there were certain things that you couldn't say because your stamina wasn't high enough or whatever. But if you go through it in New Game Plus, you could do these new pathways because you could say these things that you couldn't normally do because
it's totally the same
because your confidence wasn't high enough. So I mean,
so in this, it's like you're trying to.
So it did have New Game Plus.
So it's like knowledge, imagination, tolerance, courage. I don't know. It's things like that are the qualities of, the ideal king, and you're building those up. But there are certain people that you can't continue building your affinity up until you're more eloquent, or you're more you're more tolerant because you've talked to more religious people and learned about, or talked to people that are of different religious beliefs and learned about what they have to say. That's how you build your tolerance. And you build your knowledge up by learning about lore, blah, blah, blah. There's all these different things to increase these. And then you'll have new missions offered once you get to a new level of that. So yeah, that totally is a one-to-one thing that affects how you unlock new affinities and new abilities and stuff. Because each person represents each person that you can build your affinity with represents one of the archetypes that you could be, and how that levels up.
Nice.
So, and that levels up on its own. You're leveling it up on your own, as you're learning it. But how powerful it is gets more, increases with your affinity to these characters.
Oh yeah. So it's kind of like whatever it's called, the social links from
it's got to be. What you're saying, it sounds very similar.
Because Persona, depending on how much you hang out with whatever character, you get special moves and such like that. But
I'll probably pardon me. I'll probably. I don't know. Which one would you recommend I play first if I do a Persona game? Because I don't want it to be too cringy.
I was gonna say you already have 5, so I'd say
is 5 the one you think I would play?
I mean, 5 is the newest one. 4 is my favorite, but that's an old, and that does have some cringe stuff in it, I guess. But
I mean, they're all going to.
I mean, they all kind of have some problematic stuff because they're older games. But I'd say you already have 5, so maybe go to that one because it's the newest one.
This game has its cringe and whatever campy stuff in it for sure. I wouldn't say quite as much as I was thinking it might, but.
Well, I was gonna say we can pretty much wrap it up here, but before we forget, I want to talk about at least one news thing.
News. Don't snooze or you miss the news.
Lego Game Boy What do you guys think about that? I mean, I don't know. I don't really see myself getting any of these Nintendo Lego things.
I mean, not for $250 or whatever.
I don't think it's
be.
as cool as the other ones so far.
Well, there was like a Lego NES, right? Which I was like, why would I ever get that?
Maybe it's cooler than like the N64 block or whatever. Like I liked the dioramas inside, but just like a big question block wasn't as cool.
I mean, I guess they have hidden stuff in them or whatever the NES did, but
I think it's cool. It's probably going to be basically 1-to-1.
Sure, yeah, you can make it.
Do you
the
think it's
size
going to have
of
an
the
F1
original
race cartridge?
I hope so. That's the game I played. It should come with Mario Land 1. I guess the other big news thing, which I do want to mention, just because John, you mentioned on the Slack, but Resident Evil 4 20-year anniversary.
Oh my God!
I didn't realize that it came out so early in the year. I mean, that it was like a January game, but yeah, Resident Evil 4 on GameCube,
January 11th,
original release 11th. So that was a couple days ago. But you had some memories of the release of Resident Evil 4.
Oh sure, yeah, I remember. I bought it with some Christmas money that I had, and then at the same time, I also got a McDonald's gift certificate that Christmas. And so I remember going out and buying the game and buying McDonald's, and also that was the week that they did the previous Mario. I think it was one of the few Mario Happy Meal toys that they've done.
I was gonna say I don't know what they were doing in 2005 for Mario.
It was like the Mario Sports Collection, which I don't know if it was tied to a particular game or maybe like that baseball game came out or something.
Well, I mean, I thought the baseball game
real
was
deal.
I was gonna say I thought the baseball game or Mario Baseball was kind of towards the end of GameCube, and this was like more. Well, I guess what GameCube launched in like 2002, right? So or 2001. So I mean, I guess it had been out for a while. For some reason, I thought that Resident Evil 4 was an earlier GameCube.
This was
game.
the GameCube was ending its life. It had like a year left, and then
I thought the Resident Evil came up before that because of like the Capcom 5 and all that stuff. I thought that was kind of an early thing. Yeah, I guess.
Just remembered I've got one of the toys right here. But this is one of the toys that I got that day, little Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Which weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Has
I wonder what
like
they were
helicopter
promoting.
thing.
Do you think it's for Donkey Kong 64 or something? No, that would have been
this is way too
No.
late. This is way too late because 64.
What would have been? It would have had to have
99 or
been
something.
GameCube.
It's a little thing you pull it and then the thing comes off like this. It flies.
Is it Mario Party or something?
Maybe it was Mario Party. I don't know.
Are they do Mario Party toys?
But yeah, this is it was the release of Resident Evil 4, and so I got these Mario toys with the Happy Meal, that were themed after sports for some reason. There was like a Mario ball that I had, and there's a little Yoshi thing, like Yoshi baseball thing. So I have all this stuff.
Do you think it was for the Olympics?
Maybe I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was kind of just random. It was like, let's do some Mario promotion and come up with some random stuff. Yeah, so all that's kind of swimming around in my head when I think of Resident Evil 4. Yeah, and then like just eating the McDonald's and then playing Resident Evil 4 for like 12 hours the day that I got it. And that was just like the norm for like about a week.
And spoiling it for Otis, or at least like asking Otis to see some of it, and he didn't want to see any of it.
Yeah, I kept saying, "Oh, you gotta see this, you gotta see it," but he didn't want to play. He didn't want to see it until he actually like got to sit down and play it himself. So he was trying to avoid the living room, which was the only. Well, I guess we had it. It was the main entrance, the main exit to our apartment. So he'd like come in the door and like close his ears and eyes and walk past the TV. Yep.
Couldn't play it in your own room. Or probably maybe didn't have a.
No, we didn't have TV in there.
You only had one TV, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
2004 was the year that they had the
5.
those weird Sega handheld games at McDonald's. Do you remember those?
I don't remember those. I was trying to.
There was a monkey ball one.
I was trying to.
I remember that one.
I was trying to find it, but it's only showing me like Mario movie toys, and I don't want to see those. But yeah, I'm interested. If anybody knows, message us about it.
Yeah.
What it was, because I'm curious. Like, yeah, I guess I don't know what GameCube. Maybe the baseball game did come out then. For
Yeah, I
some
believe
reason,
this
I thought
Yoshi was
Resident Evil
from.
was an earlier game, but whatever.
I think this Yoshi was from the same thing that I have here. This little Yoshi that does the
Yoshi that's
Yoshi's
attached to
story
the
noise.
mic, as you can hear right now, with the mic noises.
Here,
What's-
I'm
what's-
removing it temporarily so you can hear it.
I'll say
See if it still works.
See all
Hold on a second.
those noises that you're hearing right now. That's the Yoshi fucking up the mic. Fucking up the mic.
Does it still work? Oh no, he's dead. It worked recently.
Wah, wah.
But he does that. Bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu.
I've heard it before, but that could have been a long time ago. But yeah, is there any other news?
R.I.P. Yoshi.
I do think it was pretty funny that Nintendo released the soundtrack for Wind Waker on Nintendo Music.
Yeah.
Just to troll people for about the Wind Waker release. I do think I said that on Mike's podcast when we talked about Wind Waker. I said that the soundtrack was going to release on Nintendo Music before the game would ever release on Switch 1 or 2, so I was right about that. But that's a fucking stellar soundtrack, so if you got Nintendo Music, listen to that shit, because that's like probably one of my favorite Zelda soundtracks, I think. Probably my favorite out of all the games. I think like the soundtrack and the sound design is incredible for that game, so I'm glad it's on there. And it's kind of fun to watch this. I know you don't like it, but it's fun to follow the weekly Monday release. It's been every Monday. There's been a new thing. And it'd be like, oh, what's this week? What's this week? But I've been wanting Wind Waker to be on there for a long time, and I'm glad it's finally there. Because, like I said, sick soundtrack. So you can listen to that. But yeah, aside from that, maybe the Switch 2 will happen tomorrow. We'll have to see.
If so, we'll do another full episode this week.
No, we'll talk about it next week.
No, we won't. I'm sorry.
Well, if we end up recording our X-Pack, we'll say something about it then. Or maybe not. We'll have to not be tight-lipped,
Oh,
so we
no.
can save it for
Those
our
need to be
actual regular
evergreen.
one. Yeah, we'll have to be tight-lipped about it and not mention it. But yeah, no, I think that's good for this episode. Thanks everybody for listening to episode 454. Hopefully we'll hear about the Switch 2 and all that stuff. And you can find us. Even though John left Facebook, I still do like some of the communities that I'm on there. I don't want to leave because of the audio recording community that I'm on there, and for the NintenDomain stuff, because people do contact us through there still. So you can do that on there, or you could contact me through Blue Sky. I think I get new followers every day on that. I think just because it's the hotness, but whatever. But you could follow me at Trey Johnson on Blue Sky or at NintenDomain on there as well. And you could. I'm on Twitter too. I still keep places just to try to get the show out to more social medias, even though I don't necessarily like using them or whatever. I still try to do it as like a promotion thing. But yeah, you can find all that stuff and Nintendo and YouTube.com/NintenDomain podcast. You can find our weekly streams on there, and hopefully the top 10 video will be out before the next episode happens. I'm gonna have to because I'm tired of working on it. But yeah, you can find that on there. But yeah, we've been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
I'm Jerry Mikowski.
On Knitter.
Thanks everybody for listening. See you next time.
See ya.